Doctors of Oriental Medicine. We have the Florida Acupuncture Association. This is the Chinese organization. Their primary focus is continuing education. And that's what they do, and they offer that in Chinese most of the time. So unless you speak Chinese, you're not going to get much out of that. You've got Florida State Oriental Medical Association, of which I was president at one time back in the 90s.
And so was I.
Of that organization at one time as well. While actually I was in leadership, Sim was in leadership with me, we got legislation passed.
We created Acupuncture
Florida
Education Day.
Government 3 years in a row. Now, you heard what Peter said about how hard it is to get legislation passed. Under our leadership, 3 years in a row, we had positive legislation which enables you to practice the kind of scope you have right now. I'm telling you, it wouldn't be the way it is. And they would have probably stripped us of primary care if we didn't fix that legislation in the 90s, get the education where it needed to be. Because when we first started,
We were being sunset.
2 years, only high school, no college, or a tutorial.
Exactly.
Okay, who's going to want to have a primary care provider with that kind of education or lack of? It would have been stripped. But we got that handled. That was back in the 90s. That was under FSOMA. We're going to go into later a little bit about what happened in the legislation and some of the political things that went on with that organization. But at this point, they tend to be a little bit more passive.